Let's talk about Candace Owens. The reason I want to talk about Candace Owens is I don't give Candace, much of my brain space. I think she's got a great following. She's gotten great traction for herself. She's somebody who, for a while, was a rising star in the conservative movement. But when I go live on TikTok or something like that, people constantly ask me, what do you think about Candace Owens? So I looked into some of the things she's saying, and she seems to think Israel has done every bad thing that's ever happened on the planet, including something to potentially do with, or there's some connection with Charlie Kirk, and I don't get it. I mean, the things that she's asserting, he was going to become a Catholic soon, and he was going to speak out against Israel soon, things like this. And then the whole Macron thing, whether she's right or wrong about that, just seems as though she's jumped the shark to a very different realm. Any thoughts as a younger person than I about Candace Owens and the controversy that seems to be living within her YouTube feed?
So I watched the first episode of the Macron thing, and I feel like that was all I really needed to watch. Not that it wasn't like well done. I think the way that she produced that documentary was absolutely incredible. But it was also just one of those where I was like, okay, it's a man, whatever. I think I got the whole story here. I didn't care enough about it, right, to like dig into it that much. But then I had a couple of friends kind of similar to you, your people coming to you on TikTok. I had a bunch of my friends, a lot of former Daily Caller, a lot of other people who were, Turning Point, close to Charlie. They all hit me up, which is so weird because most of my people know not to like contact me about this stuff. But I have this like weird thing where if I'm given enough information on something, I'm like, okay, I know exactly how this is going to play out. And I'm very, very rarely wrong. So they said, have you watched this Candace stuff? And at the time I hadn't. So my husband and I, we sat down. We'd actually just finished watching Tucker Carlson's first episode about Charlie Kirk, where he raised a lot of very similar points to the ones that Candace raised. My issue, though, is as soon as I was done watching both of those episodes and sort of gathering my thoughts, I went back and spoke to a handful of my friends, a lot of whom actually don't work, like sort of like me. They're kind of distancing themselves from that side of the news media industry now because there's just, I don't know, we just grow up. We're getting older. It's time for someone else to like take over kind of thing. We have other stuff going on.
Right.
All of them had insider knowledge that essentially refuted most of what she said, or if they didn't refute, they filled in the gaps. And I think the words that came up most often in my network were lies by omission. So like, for example, the stuff that was going on in the Hamptons, I didn't realize basically everyone I knew, I might have actually received an invite to that, but I didn't go because like, why would I? I'm pregnant. I never leave my farm, like ever. It is so hard to get me to leave my house.
For those who don't know, Candace was saying there was some meeting at this guy Ackman's house or something where Charlie Kirk was threatened about what he was saying about Israel, and Ackman came out. He gave every text message. He showed all of it. He didn't hide anything. He said it wasn't even at my house. It was at it was like a restaurant or some event center. So what she said there is provably incorrect according to Ackman. But having said all of that, she doesn't work with TPUSA anymore. She hadn't for a long time. They actually parted ways in like 19 or 20 or something. She said that she was one of the Masons of TPUSA. She certainly wasn't. She came in later when Charlie brought on the Blexit movement that she started, and that's when they sort of teamed up. But there was a falling out there. So what is she doing now? Kay, is this for the clicks? Is that what this is? Because she can't think. There are people at TPUSA who know the real story, and they're going to refute what she says or agree with her. But so far, nobody's agreeing with her from TPUSA.
No one's agreeing with her from TPUSA, but I look at it from the perspective of like, I don't think they can, because if you engage too much with that, like how she is, you diminish yourself. Okay. And so I think they're just kind of taking the high road and being like, chill out, calm down. It's harder to refute what she says when you hear Megyn Kelly and when you hear Tucker Carlson of their own volition, essentially saying similar things. Now, I'm not talking about Candace and like her relationship with everyone. Like, I absolutely think that most of the stuff that she's posting, yeah, it is for clicks, it is for likes. You can tell in every industry, Joe, whether people, and I'm like, I say this because, for a lot of people listening, they probably don't know this, but I also work a lot with like the ancient histories, ancient mysteries crowd. Like I write for the Y-Files and like Wandering Wolf, and very ingrained in that community on the sort of like production side, if you will. Like, I'm not front facing with it. There are just as many people in that industry where we know that they're doing it for the fame and the clicks. And there's a lot of similarities between those people and the way that Candace presents herself. So that exists in everything. It's the same with modeling. Like, it's the same with Hollywood. Like, there are people who love the art. There are people who are just like, I'm gonna be famous. There's a lot of that. But the
She is famous, though.
She is famous, but
you know what I'm saying? Well, okay, let me just expand a little bit. She's famous, but if you believe the rumblings and the murmurings coming out of the conservative side, she's burned a lot of bridges. Like for some reason, she's not taking hold. Now, there is a history there where she was a far left-wing liberal that had a liberal organization that was allegedly doxing people. And then suddenly she came out as this conservative firebrand. And listen, I don't dislike her. I think that she certainly has built something, a real brand and a real network of people that believe in her. But more and more, what she's saying is not only refuted, but it's rather easily refuted. So is it only about the social clicking and all that stuff? Because she can't believe everything she's saying. She didn't know whether Charlie Kirk was switching to Catholicism. If she has recent texts with Charlie Kirk, present them. Put them out there and show me what you're talking about. Because, I mean, I get it that some people don't like Benjamin Netanyahu. I get it some people don't like the Israeli government. You're allowed to say that. I'm down. But to suggest there's something more nefarious here because of an Israel connection is weird to me. And it's very off-putting, I'll be honest.
It is very off-putting. It's very awkward. I think the way that she goes about it is just so hyper-aggressive that even if there was any truth to what she was saying, it's kind of like impossible to listen to when she's gone past the point of this being like traumatized by the murder of a friend to just like all out aggressive. And I know people are going to be like, oh, you're like calling her out for like the angry black woman trope. It's like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, Joe,
Nobody's saying that. Yeah.
You've seen me when I get angry. I am so much worse than Candace Owens. Anyone who's worked with me in this industry knows when I get angry, I am so much worse than her. Like, I will call people names to their faces, but I haven't burned those kinds of bridges. Like, that was kind of a key point. I know a lot of people who've worked with her and none of them work with her anymore. And so I think that speaks more to her personality and her motivation. And again, it's one of those things where like when she's like a, what's it called? Oh, I'm having pregnancy brain. It's like it's like a cat with a mouse. Like once it's got it, you're not getting it off. I say that because my cat dragged a mouse in this morning.
Ew.
And I couldn't get it off. It was so gross. It was not my job to get it off either. Like, but it was just, it's hard for her to let go. And
right.
I don't have a lot of time for people.
She's obsessing. She's obsessing over it.
Yeah. And it's disrespectful at this point. I think it's really disrespectful. It is. She wasn't at the memorial.
Well,
like
I would think that she would have been at the memorial. I would think that she would have spoken at the memorial if they were as close as she's saying. I would think that she would show receipts of whatever. She claimed there was a meeting somewhere, there wasn't. She claimed there were text messages that Ackman showed didn't exist. So I'm not sure what we're doing here. And listen, I love Megyn Kelly. She's been a friend of mine for a long time. I am down with her questioning Israel if she wants to. But I don't know. I mean, has she specifically taken Candace's side? I don't think so. I know that Tucker has said that she's a very nice person and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, at some point, she's going to say too much to where everybody in her, what she thinks is in her circle, is going to say, you know, that's a step too far. I don't know what you're doing. Because nothing that she has said about Charlie Kirk since his passing, nobody, not one word of it has been corroborated by anybody. Not even for a second. Nobody has said she's right about this. In fact, TPUSA, a representative, said, we're going to address a lot of things that are being said about Charlie. Now, she didn't say we're going to address what Candace Owens is saying, but they're going to be addressing a lot of things because there's a lot in the ether now, and I think people want the clicks because of it. Like I posted a few interviews that I've done with Charlie because they're my interviews with Charlie, but in context, boom, here it is. I've never said Charlie was my best friend and Charlie and I, went fishing together and Charlie told me Candace was this. I don't know what all this other stuff is that's unprovable other than for clicks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. And if you say anything about the sort of Bibi Netanyahu Israel connection, like that's gonna get clicks right now. It's kind of sad, really, because I think it does also diminish from everything that Charlie did. I felt like what Tucker said on Charlie's show, the fact that this young man, like, he was a modern day prophet. Like, you just look at his life, what he did with it, and his passing, and that is the true process of a prophet, as Jesus described it, as
Yes.
God made them. And so, yeah, I think it is kind of disrespectful. And look, I get it. It was weird that Netanyahu tweeted like 7 minutes after the shooting when like no one really knew what was going on. That was weird. But you're also talking about one of the like most powerful intel agencies in the world.
Right.
They know what everything that's going on all of the time. He probably just had like an aide come in and say like, "Oh, this has happened." He was like, "Oh, we got to get a tweet out about it." Like he
Right.
probably didn't even know the context or the timeline of like what happened.
Right.
And so there's lots of stuff like that where I'm just kind of like, it's very easy to hate on Israel. It's very easy to hate on the government of Israel when you when you want to find a conspiracy,
Yeah.
you can find one wherever you want. Like, I don't know, it's just sort of one of those weird things that I think like she is doing it for clicks, she is doing it for likes. The way she's going about it is disrespectful to her friend and to her friend's family, and the sort of legacy and the thing that he created. But if she really cared, surely she would be going out, A, telling the truth, A, showing those receipts as soon as they come through, and not burning more bridges, like calling out like Seth Dillon and all these different people. Like,
Yeah, I mean, she
so many,
right
like,
after him. Very strange. I mean, I know Seth
like,
Dillon. No, not
yeah.
great friends, but he's a nice enough guy. For those watching and listening, the Babylon B guy. So I just wish that she would take it back a step and say, I can present this case this way. And so far, I mean, some vital things that she said that make her case have been blown out of the water by this guy, Ackman. Is it Ackman or Ackerman? I think it's Ackman.
I don't know. I
Either
mean,
way,
like,
the guy in the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I know a lot of people who went to those meetings. I know a lot of people who get invited to Israel and like they don't get like paid to go there, but they get, like red carpet treatment.
Yeah.
And then they're sort of, like Bobby Lee was talking about how like 15 years ago or something like that, he was invited and the deal was like, oh, you have to tweet nice things about Israel. I was like, yeah, but I can also tell you like a billion different restaurants and political groups and clothing lines that have done the same thing over here in America. Like just because they have better PR than, most other, I know people who've done that for like other countries as well. It's just one of those things where like they're an easy punching bag. And
I don't know why. It's very strange.
I don't know why either. It just takes away so much. And like, it's just such a, I don't know. It's
Well,
sad.
I listen. I don't wish her any ill. I just wish that if she's going to present this stuff, don't say I have it and I know what he said and we just talked last week and blah blah blah. He was my best friend. I mean, you don't need to do all that just to say it.
Yeah.
If you want to make a case about something, you're very smart, Candace. Make the case, present the receipts, and then let's go from there. Because so far, all she's really done is get a lot of clicks. It's been very successful, but she's made this guy in the Hamptons prove that what she's saying is incorrect about the texts. She's also, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the impetus for TPUSA saying we're going to clear some things up about Charlie, I think it has to do with what she's saying.